What is up, YouTube? How's everybody out there doing today? So, as you can see, we're gonna have a little update on the truck. The Duramax has been down for a long time. I've really missed it. But I got my good buddy Mitch in here. Mitch, hey. Say hi. Hey. That's his hi. Hey. I got my kids this weekend, so I can't be in here working. And I had Mitch come in. I was like, hey, would you mind tearing the front end of the truck apart? I'd like you to take a look at some things and see if we could figure out what might be going on here. And basically, you know, we checked everything on the truck. We checked the fuel, which we had fuel, obviously. We, you know, I installed new glow plugs, hoping maybe the glow plugs were bad, because I did measure out the glow plugs. The resistance on the glow plugs were way out of whack. So I ended up getting new glow plugs for it, and measuring them, and they were all where they need to be. That still didn't start the truck. So considering the fact that I know I have fuel, plenty of fuel. I have fuel rail pressure. When I took the glow plugs out, there's fuel soaking on the glow plugs. So I know fuel is getting into the cylinder, so that's not even an issue anymore. I know the glow plugs are correct, and they should be working the way they're supposed to be working. Even though you technically don't need glow plugs to start a diesel, except in very cold weather conditions. I just replaced them anyways, maybe hoping that it would be it. So like I said, this weekend I decided to call up Mitch and have him come in and say, listen, would you mind coming in and tearing down the front end of this truck and seeing if the cam pin on the cam, which people have told me about, see if it's messed up or see if it's broken. Well, guys, I got some news for you. It's broken. The cam pin definitely broke. Here's all the front end parts for the truck. We got our front cover, water brackets set up, water pump, front pulley, accessory brackets, all kinds of stuff. Our fan sitting over there, all kinds of wrenches laying around. We got good old Mitchell man in here trying to do some stuff. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but down at the bottom, I would say right there where he's pointing the flashlight, there's a hole in the cam, and in that hole goes a pin. And then basically you have your gear, and your gear lines up. I don't even think they can see that, boss.
It's very little.
It's a very little pin, not very big at all. It's basically an alignment pin, but what happens is if that pin breaks off and shears off, which has been seen to happen, it'll actually throw the truck out of timing. And that's exactly why this truck was not starting up in the first place. We'll go over here, and I'm going to show you the broken. So here is, I guess he was trying to use that one for something else. Here is the broken cam pin, literally sheared off. It's crazy how that happens. So that's that broken piece there. That's what goes in the cam and holds everything together to make sure the timing is correct for the valve events. Now, the bad news is there's a lot of reports on the Duramax LB7 engines, and I even think it applies to the newer Duramax engines as well, maybe, I'm not sure, is if that pin breaks or shears off, there's a chance of the valves hitting the pistons, because as far as I know, this is an interference motor, and the valves can hit the pistons possibly, and bend push rods and bend valves and do all kinds of just really ridiculous damage. So right now, basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to check everything, see where we're at, and then rotate the motor over and figure out a way to see if, without pulling the heads, to see if we did bend valves or bend push rods or anything of that nature. We really don't know at this point, to be honest. So my question is to you guys, and you can comment below, is should I cam this thing? I mean, we're this close. Should I just pull the heads off, stud it, make sure the valves are good, make sure the push rods are good, and if they're not, I can replace those and then cam it? I was thinking about that on the way up here. I was like, you know, if I do have bend valves or bend push rods, there's a lot of options out there for aftermarket camshafts for these trucks. And honestly, the truck works great. The engine works great. We found the problem. We know what the problem is. So, and the training's built. I mean, what's another, you know, couple thousand or whatever to put a cam in it? So that's what I'm kind of thinking about doing, but I'm not sure yet. I would really like to just get this thing back on the road and drive it around, but it all depends on, it really comes down to, obviously, if, you know, the push rods or anything are bent, which we will not know until we pull the valve covers off and check everything out there. All right, guys, we are back. It is the next day here at the shop. Mitch is gone. He went home. He was in here Saturday all day working on the truck. as you guys seen. He was in here Sunday for about a half a day, working on the truck as well and putting everything together. He didn't get a lot together, but he got the whole front cover piece on, and didn't get the crank pulley on or anything of that nature. The sensors are in, everything's bolted up and sealed up. I had to connect some plugs up, and I also had to put the glow plug in because he took this #1 glow plug, which, if you guys don't know, the #1 glow plug is on the passenger side of a Duramax engine. He took that out, stuck a thin piece of I guess a screwdriver or something in there to make sure he had top dead center on that piston. That way he knew the cam timing marks were accurate, and he wasn't 180 degrees off on the cam spin since that pin came out. Put the new pins in. I guess we're gonna go ahead and I got my buddy Alex here too. He stopped by to see everything going on as well for a little bit this morning.
Well, I wanted to see it actually work.
Oh, you wanted to see it actually work? But we don't even know if it works yet. So everything's together. I plugged everything in that needed to be plugged in real quick. It only took about like 15-20 more minutes of work. I connected the batteries up. We're gonna hop in the truck and we're gonna see if this thing fires up. Wish me luck, guys. Hopefully nothing's messed up on it. Hopefully everything's okay and this thing will fire up, but let's see what happens. I am pretty sure that this was the issue with the truck, considering the fact that this pin was off and the cam spun. My main concern is the fact that if it does work, did it bend anything or did it break anything internally with the engine, like push rods or valves or anything of that nature? So we're gonna fire it up or try to fire it up here and see what happens. So let's get our glow plugs heated up here. Not like we need them, and we're in the truck, so we're inside the shop in the truck, and the shop's warm. All right, guys. Now keep in mind, there's nothing hooked up. The radiator's not running antifreeze, so I can't start it. If it does start up, I can't keep it running for very long. So let's, and the alternator's not hooked up either. So let's see what happens. Holy smokies! We have a running diesel, a running diesel, a running diesel! It sounds weird though, I'm not gonna lie. How's it sound out there? It's running, but it's shaking. It's really shaking. All right, let's shut her off. We have a check engine light on, obviously, because there's some things that aren't plugged in. Holy shit. All right, well, this is awesome. This is awesome, awesome, awesome. Woo! That's freaking great. You have no idea. So it's not blown up. That's freaking amazing, but it is running rough, which is kind of a concern. The only thing I can think is, and the thing is, I've read this up on, and I said this before in the video as well, I've read up that if that cam pin comes out, there is a chance of bending push rods and possibly exhaust valves as well. And it sounds like that might be the case, which kind of sucks a little bit. But I am glad the truck starts up and it runs. Obviously, it was never a fuel issue. It was never a code issue or an electrical issue. It was just that cam pin came out and threw the timing off for the truck. And that's why it was just cranking and cranking and cranking and not starting up. So I am very, very happy about this. I'm happy it's running. It sucks that it's not running good. And I'm thinking it's probably either the push rods are bent, which I've read, or the valves are bent. The exhaust valves per se. A lot of the guys say the exhaust valves can hit the pistons on these and they will bend. So I guess the next step here is it's, oh God, I'm so happy it's running. So happy it's running, dude. I don't even care if it like runs rough. It just runs. And that makes me happy because I was thinking like the motor was done. I was thinking the head gaskets were blown up. And I just got done building this tranny too, man. And that really sucks, putting all this money into this transmission. And it's, yeah, and it's not easy to push. So at least I can start it up for the most part and drive it in and out of the shop, park it up on the field somewhere if I need it out of the way or whatever. I don't have to push this thing around anymore. So that is amazing. That is so freaking amazing. So I guess what the next step is I'm done working on this for right now because obviously I got other stuff to do. I had my kids this weekend, so that's why I had Mitch in here working on this. I was like, you know what, Mitch, can you bring the truck in? Can you tear it down real quick and see what's going on, see if this timing marks are off? And they were. And we bought the parts and fixed everything and put it back together. but it does sound like there's something else going on with it, maybe a bent push rod or a bent valve. So the next step in this little venture that we're going to have is, I guess, I'm going to have to pull off the valve covers and pull the push rods out and see if we have any bent push rods. Hopefully nothing else got damaged cranking this truck over as many times as we have. Hopefully. If it is, then it's, I'll take the heads off and refurbish the heads. I'm not too concerned about it. This motor has 466,000 miles on it. I'm not giving up on this Duramax, guys. I'm not going to give up on this thing. It doesn't owe me a dime. It really, yeah, you're right. It doesn't. This truck does not owe me a dime. Like, for the money that I paid for it and the money that I have into it at this point, I owe it some money. So I'm probably gonna show this thing a little bit of love. We'll check the push rods at a later date. If the push rods are bent, we'll replace them. Hopefully the valves look okay. We could probably see maybe the valves through the head if they are bent. I don't know, maybe not. That's gonna be kind of hard to do. Well, yeah, if the push rods aren't bent, then I definitely have to pull these heads. And if I'm gonna pull the heads off, I might as well do really good head gaskets and ARP head studs on it as well at the same time. I've watched a couple of videos back in the past about pulling heads off of these trucks. They're not that bad. So, man, she runs, guys. She starts up and she runs. This is very, very happy. Very happy. So, yeah, there you go, guys. That's it, man. Fucking, I didn't even mean to swear. I didn't even try to swear. I'm just so happy right now. We'll say freaking from now on. Freaking. I'm so freaking happy that this truck is finally starting up and running again. Oh, my God. Oh, little update on the Trans Am, by the way. The red Trans Am. I have a very nice turbo kit coming for it here soon, which is going to be superb. You guys are going to love the multiple videos I'm going to make about that. And I am going to be having a 6.0 liter coming as well shortly, hopefully, because I have discovered that the Trans Am 5.7 200,000 mile engine went kaput. I discovered the last time I had the turbo off, the oil in the turbo drain was actually clean oil. The oil coming out of the downpipe at the side of the car was nice, dirty, carbed up oil. So I'm under the impression right now at this point that the ring lands have broken on the car. One or many of them have broken. I'm not really sure yet. I don't really care. That car doesn't owe me a penny either. I've had lots of fun with it, racing these really slow McLarens and stuff. So, I don't owe that car anything as well. The transmission is built in it. I am considering taking the rear end out of the white Trans Am. That's a Midwest chassis 9-inch rear end in that car that will literally handle anything. I'm going to slap that into the red car, and that's going to be the new drag car. It'll be able to take whatever abuse I throw at it. We'll see how long the 4L60E lasts. I built that tranny, so we'll see how long that lasts in the car. Once that blows up, we'll be doing a TH400 build for that car, and it's going to rock worlds. We're probably going to be seeing 1,000+ horsepower on that car with this new turbo setup that's coming, and this turbo setup will support 1,000+ horsepower, I guarantee you. So we'll see that, and with the engine and the custom heads that I have for it, we will definitely be seeing some very, very good numbers out of that car through an automatic transmission. So we'll end this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for all the support. If you have any suggestions or ideas, leave them down in the comments for me. I love to listen to what you guys have to say. Instagram, Diablo Formula Racing. Facebook is also Diablo Formula Racing. Deuces, guys.